When someone you love looks at you like you're a burden, something inside you dies quietly. That night, when Emma screamed, "I don't want to hug you," it wasn't just rejection. It was the sound of a wall being built between us. We had been married 7 years. I thought we were solid, mature, maybe even unbreakable. But over the last few months, something shifted. She had become distant, colder, quieter, and constantly distracted. I thought maybe she was stressed from work or just exhausted from life's routine. But the truth was, she was drifting away, and I was too blind to see where she was heading. That night, I tried to hold her. I'd come home early, made her favorite pasta, even lit the small candles she loved. I wanted to feel close again, to remember the warmth we used to share. But when I reached out to hug her, she pulled back sharply. "Don't," she said, her voice trembling but firm. "I don't want to hug you right now." I froze. Not because she said no, but because of the way she said it, like my touch disgusted her. I just stood there, staring at her, holding the silence between us like it could somehow fix what was broken. She turned away, pretending to scroll through her phone. I could see the reflection of a message lighting up her screen, her eyes flickering with something I hadn't seen in months. Excitement. Not for me, but for someone else. That night, I slept on the couch. I didn't even try to fight. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, realizing how much of our love had turned into quiet avoidance. In the morning, she acted normal. She made coffee, hummed softly, and even asked if I wanted breakfast, like nothing had happened. I watched her move around the kitchen, her hair tied up messily, the same way it used to be when she'd dance around and kiss me on the cheek. But now, there was no music, no laughter, just a routine she performed like a role she didn't want anymore. As she poured her coffee, I asked, "Emma, are we okay?" She sighed, didn't look up. "We're fine, Ryan. You just overthink everything." Overthink. That word hit harder than I expected. Because overthinking was the only way I'd managed to stay sane. Trying to understand what went wrong. Trying to hold on to something that clearly didn't want to be held. That day, I went to work, sat at my desk, and couldn't focus on anything. Every email, every phone call blurred into noise. All I could see was her pulling away. All I could hear was her voice. "I don't want to hug you." By evening, I'd made my decision. Not out of anger, but clarity. Sometimes silence says more than shouting ever could. I came home, and she was on the couch, watching some reality show, laughing softly at her phone. I stood at the doorway, just watching her. The woman I once believed I'd grow old with, now a stranger living under my roof. She looked up. "What?" she asked, half annoyed. I smiled faintly. "Nothing. Just realizing something." "What's that?" "That you stopped needing me a long time ago." She blinked, unsure whether I was serious. I walked past her, into our bedroom, and started packing a small bag. Just essentials, a few shirts, my laptop, a toothbrush. "Ryan, what are you doing?" she asked, standing now. "I'm leaving," I said calmly. "You don't want to hug me? Fine. But I don't want to support you anymore." Her expression flickered, confusion, then fear, then anger. "Support me? What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I've been paying for a life you don't even want to share anymore." The words hung heavy in the air. For the first time, I saw guilt flash across her face. Or maybe just shock that I'd finally stopped begging for her attention. She stood frozen for a moment, like she couldn't process what I just said. Then came the inevitable flare of defensiveness. "So you're leaving because I didn't hug you? That's childish, Ryan." I zipped my bag slowly, keeping my voice steady. "No, Emma. I'm leaving because that moment showed me everything I needed to know. You don't want me anymore, but you still want what I provide." Her face flushed red. "You're twisting this. You're making it something it's not." I shook my head. "Then tell me what it is." She looked down. No words came out, just silence, heavy and cold. I waited. I wanted her to fight for us, to say something, but she didn't. That silence was my answer. I walked out that night. No drama, no shouting, no slamming doors. Just the quiet click of the lock behind me. I checked into a small hotel across town. The room smelled like stale coffee and cheap air freshener, but for the first time in months, I could breathe. The next morning, she called. I didn't answer. Then a text. Can we talk? I stared at the screen for a long time. My heart wanted to go back. My mind told me not to. Finally, I replied, there's nothing left to say. 2 days passed. Then, one evening, I got a message from an unknown number. A photo, Emma, sitting in a restaurant, across from a man I didn't recognize. His hand was resting on hers. I didn't know who sent it or why. Maybe a friend who thought I deserved the truth. My heart didn't shatter this time. It just went numb. Because deep down I already knew. That's why she couldn't hug me. She was saving her affection for someone else. A strange calm washed over me. Betrayal doesn't always explode. Sometimes it fades in slowly, disguised as indifference. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That night I drafted an email, not angry, not bitter, just final. Emma, I don't hate you. I'm just done trying to be enough for someone who's already found her replacement. You'll get the apartment. I've already spoken to the lawyer about the finances. Consider it my final act of love, freeing you from the obligation of pretending. I hit send and stared at the blinking cursor for a long time. 7 years of laughter, arguments, late-night drives, small inside jokes, all reduced to one email. But it was peaceful in a strange way. A week later, I moved into a smaller apartment near the river. The place was quiet, minimal, and empty, but it was mine. I started running in the mornings, something I hadn't done in years. Cleared my head. Every step felt like reclaiming a part of myself I'd lost while trying to hold on to someone who'd already let go. Months went by. One afternoon, I saw her name pop up again. A short message. I miss you. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Because missing someone doesn't mean you deserve them again. Sometimes people only realize your value when you stop offering it for free. That night, as I sat by the window, watching the lights shimmer on the water, I thought back to the moment she said those words. I don't want to hug you. I smiled, not out of bitterness, but gratitude. Because that rejection, that sting, that sudden distance, it gave me back my clarity. Love should never feel like begging for permission to exist in someone's world. It should be mutual, effortless, alive. And when it's not, when your presence feels like an inconvenience, walking away isn't weakness. It's survival. So I raised my glass to the quiet, to the freedom, to the peace that comes after letting go. Sometimes the hardest goodbye is the one that finally sets you free.